Today I'm going to talk about adding and subtracting linear algebraic expressions. So before we talk about more complex algebraic expressions, we have to first define addition and subtraction. So firstly, let's go to the very basic here. A plus A. Okay? What you do is you just have to count how many there are here. There are 2, right? 1, 2. So you just write 2A. So this is how addition is defined. So if I have 3 of these, I would get 3A, okay? So this is very basic. Now, if there is subtraction involved, let's say 3A minus A, okay? So, you need to know one thing. When I do not have a number in front, it is understood that this number is 1, okay? So 3 minus 1. So all you have to do is just add up, okay? Or subtract. Here is 3 minus 1. I get 2A, okay? So similarly, if I have minus 3A minus A, so what is minus 3 minus 1? You should know this by now, is minus 4A, okay? So for addition, it's the same, right? If I have 3A plus 2A, this is a bit easier, right? 3 plus 2, 5A, okay? So these are some examples of simple addition and subtraction. Now, we'll do something a little bit more now. Now, we only have one variable here, right? In the first point, all I've used is A. What if I have 2 variables, okay? So what if I have A plus B plus 2A, okay? Now, the first thing that I want to teach you is to do this kind of questions, okay? You must learn to break up your expression, okay, into the terms. So I will call these terms, right? So this is the first term, second term, third term. So I will break it up like this into boxes or cards, okay? So it is important that you break this up correctly. The sign must be before the number or the variable, okay? So basically plus 2A, okay? Don't break it up in such a way that the sign is after, okay? It must be before. So it is understood that for the very first term, if there is no sign before it, it is understood that this is going to be a plus sign, okay? If it's negative, there will be a minus sign. So now we rearrange it, okay? Step by step, okay? We'll take this slow. We'll rearrange it such that all the like terms are on one side. So that means I have A plus 2A plus B. Okay, so you see, 2A, I've moved it, I've swapped the position with B. So you might question and say, oh, can I really do this? Yes, you can. Okay, but let me just do this first. A plus 2A is 3A. Then, what about B? You can't do anything to it. This is the simplest you can get, okay? So you leave it like this. So the very first property here is that I've shown here, okay? So these are the properties, okay? A plus B is B plus A. So what we call this property, we call it commutative, okay? So the word is spelled like this, commutative, which means changing the order does not change the result, okay? Numbers are commutative. So for example, 2 plus 3 is 5, right? 3 plus 2 is also 5. So this is a commutative property, okay? It is the same. So I can reorder this any way I like. It will still be the same, okay? Hence I can shift the 2A to before B, okay? So now I'll just do a few more exercises very quickly, okay? So usually they have to give 4 terms. So I'll give you one as an example, a simple one, 3A plus 4A. So here I kept it simple. They are already in order now, right? And I put them already, they're all positive, okay? Basically they're all plus. No minus yet, okay? 3A plus 4A is 7A. 5B plus 6B is 11b, okay? So I hope that by now this is clear to you. Okay, if this is clear to you, now we'll do subtraction, okay? Here, let's do this one. 4a plus, okay, 5b minus 5a, okay? So here I've done only 3 terms. So again, now here they're not in order, right? A, B, A. So I'm going to do this. When you get good at this, you of course do not need to cut it up like this. You should be able to see it straight away. But now I'll just do it. So I'm going to rearrange. Put all the A's to one side, the B's to another side, okay? Here you can see 4 minus 5. You get minus 1. So 1 is not necessary. So in algebra, you see, you do not have to write 1a, okay? I will just write minus a. It's understood that this is minus 1a plus 5b, okay? So this is for this expression. This is the simplified version, okay? Now let's just do one more before I talk about, I'll move on, okay? So it's actually pretty straightforward, right? Adding and subtracting is quite intuitive. It's like adding and subtracting the numbers, okay, beside the variable. So just one last one. This time I will start with a negative 1, okay? Let's make it a little bit more difficult. Okay, minus 5a minus 6b plus 8a minus 9b. Okay. So again, you can just cut it up, okay? But I'm just going to skip that step for now. Minus a plus 8. Minus 5a plus 8a. I'll just do this step so it's clear to you. So I shifted the a to one side, b to the other side, right? Minus 5 plus 8. So you have to be good at this, okay? It's 3a. Minus 6 minus 9 minus 15b, okay? So this is for adding and subtracting. So actually, I'm pretty much done with this, okay? But I would like to move on and do something a little bit more difficult, okay? Now, I'll move on to fractional coefficients, okay? I will erase this so that I have some space. Okay, what do I mean by fractional coefficient, okay? It's nothing too difficult. I'll give you an example. So now we're going on to point 3. Here, this is what I mean, okay? Here, the numbers on my left hand side, okay, on the left side of the variable, they are no longer whole numbers. It's no longer 2, 3, 4, 5. It is fractions. So you do it in the same way as you would with whole numbers, okay? So for example, if I add 5a plus 3a is 8a, right? It's actually 5 plus 3 is 8. Now for this, half plus 1/3. So what is half plus 1/3? So you should have learned this in fractions. You do it by changing it to a common denominator, right? So the common denominator is 6. So this is simply 3 over 6a plus 2 over 6a. Once you've changed it to a common denominator, then you can add up, okay? So now I'm going to teach you something a little bit, something newer. Here, this is equivalent to this. So you must know that these two are equivalent. I can express it like this and I can express it like this. So the a, you can put it outside or you can put it on top with 5. You cannot put it below, okay? Because that's a different meaning altogether, okay? Or you can think of it this way, 5a divided by 6, right? Because in fractions, if I have 1 over 3, it is 1 divided by 3, correct? So you know this. So it's the same, you see? Now, I will do something a little bit more tricky, okay? The next thing is, so here it's still pretty nice, okay? Now we'll deal with fractions that are larger. okay, these two are more than 1, right? You can see that in the previous example, these two are less than 1, whereas these two, the fractions are more than 1. You do it normally, common denominator. Okay? So the interesting thing, okay, let me just finish it first. Okay, the interesting thing about fraction coefficient, so I should explain the terminology a bit. This part is called the coefficient, okay? So when you hear me say coefficient, I'm referring to the number that's attached to the variable, okay? So, and this is considered the variable. Okay? So A is a variable. Okay. So the coefficient is more than 1. The interesting thing about algebra is that we never, or it is very unlikely, okay, we rarely express this coefficient as a mixed number. We like to leave it as improper fraction. So don't try and give me something that looks like this. 4 3/4, okay? This is not preferred, okay, because you can see there's just too many things happening. It is also very confusing, okay? So we don't write it like this. We leave it as an improper fraction, okay? Or, again, like before, we can write it like this, okay? Both ways are the same. Okay, so now we'll mix it up with a little bit with a different variable. Here I will write this, okay? Now again, I would shift all to one side, all the like terms to one side. 1/3 A minus A, okay? Plus half B plus half B, okay? So what is this? This is 1, right? 1/3 minus 1. What is this? So if you are familiar with this already, you should know that it is minus 2/3 A, okay? Half B plus half B. Half plus half is 1. So plus 1B, which is plus B. Okay? So pretty straightforward, right? Actually, once you get the hang of it, it's actually very easy. Now we do one last one. The last one is, so I'm going to mix up whole numbers with fractions, okay? Okay, here, I'm going to shift all to one side, okay? Okay. Okay, 15A plus half A. So, in your working, it is still okay if you want to write it as a mixed number. So for now, we'll take it step by step, okay? I write it as a mixed number. It is not good if this is your final answer, but as part of your working, it is okay. Minus half plus 5/2, okay? So you need to know, so remember I said addition and subtraction is commutative, right? So what it means is that, let me try and get some space here. Okay, minus half plus 5/2. So a neat trick to do this kind of sums is that I swap the position of the negative and the positive. So I swap their position and I get something that looks like this. So it's the same. This is equal to this. It is commutative, right? Which means commutative means you can change the order without changing the result. This is 4/2, which is 2. Okay? So this is basically 2b. Okay? Now what do I do with this? So again, express it as an improper fraction. 31/2a plus 2b. Okay? So that's all. That's all for adding and subtracting linear algebraic expressions. Just practice a little bit more and then you get a hang of it. I will probably talk about factorizing and expanding linear algebraic expressions next. So do stay tuned. Thank you.